Yes, we are ready. So first thing, before we get into Sampajana Pabbam, it talks about different body movements. Before that, we need to understand what is Sampajana. So there is a definition. Katancha bhikkave bhikkhu sampajano hoti. Ida bhikkave bhikkhu vidita vedana upajjanti vidita upathanti vidita abattham gachanti vidita sanya upajjanti vidita upathanti vidita abhattam gachanti vidita vitakka upajjanti vidita upathanti vidita abhattam gachanti evam ko bhikkave bhikkhu sampajano hoti. So I said in a very fast way as though it's a bullet train, so let me explain what it means. Katancha bhikkave bhikkhu sampajana hoti. Because what do you mean by sampajana? Ida bhikkave bhikkhu vidita vedana upajjanti. Herein the feeling arises. It arises. So he will observe the feeling is arising with sampajanya. Now it's like somebody observing, so it's not your feeling, it's just a feeling which is arising. Upathanti, it stays. So the feeling comes and it stays. Vidita abhattam gachanti. Now that slowly it starts to diminish. So whether now I see a very nice sensual, let's say I have a coffee. So as soon as the smell hits my nose, there is a recognition that it's a coffee. The moment there is a recognition called coffee, the mind will create a feeling. And the feeling will say, wow, it's a coffee, I need to have coffee. So that wow feeling, it stays till the coffee arrives. Now when I drink the coffee, it goes away. Clear? Okay. Vidita sanya upajjanti. Along with the feeling comes the sanya, which is perception. So you are perceiving it as coffee. So this morning, Shreyas had given a call asking about, does feeling and perception has memory? I said no. They both don't have memory. Then he got thoroughly confused. Who has a memory? I said the chitta has memory. So this coffee smell, where it is stored? It is stored in the chitta, not in the feeling, nor in the sanya. The coffee taste is stored in chitta. So as soon as the smell hits the nose, that is, when you look at these two things, nose and smell, they need a connection which is consciousness, vijnana. So chitta becomes vijnana. That you should not forget. So now when it connects, it immediately brings the memory of the first coffee you ever had in your life. And that is what we store. So the value in the mind, if you were to call it as X, like a software programming, so you have something as a value, and the value initially is 0. But in its place, this pleasurable feeling gets attached to it as a value. So when this consciousness is able to make that value change, then the feeling and perception, the perception says this is coffee, and the feeling says it's wow, it's so nice. very good coffee or very bad coffee. Coffee remains same. So the perception, the buddhi or intellect recognizes the object. So this is coffee. That has been told from our young age that this is coffee. Otherwise we ask, what is this? And they say this is so and so. And then we recognize it and say, this is coffee. Now I'm having coffee. So when the coffee comes, the feeling and perception is already there. And the memory gives me that wow feeling of coffee. Then, before I drink the coffee, what then happens? Vitakka happens, debate. It will also start along with the Vedana, Sanya and Vitakka. All the three will be there. So when I ask for coffee due to the smell, let's say my mother-in-law, she drinks coffee. So mother-in-law and my wife doesn't drink any coffee or tea. So she's preparing coffee. I love coffee because I am a tea drinker. So anybody giving me coffee is very good. So whenever my mother-in-law comes here, she makes coffee for me because she drinks coffee. So I get another glass or whatever mug of coffee. So the moment the smell of coffee comes from the kitchen, mind goes behind that coffee because it recognizes the coffee. Who recognizes the coffee? The chitta recognizes the coffee and makes that experience possible. And that is the reason Buddha says Vijnana is like a magician. Mayam upamancha vijnanam desita ditta bandhuna. That means this magician, even though there is no coffee, it's just a liquid, because it is said to be coffee and it is filter coffee, that smell can be anything, but it is said that this is filter coffee. So I want filter coffee. So the filter coffee comes to me with Vedana, Sanya, Vitakka, all the three. Now how do I really watch it then? For watching it, you need to create somebody is observing you. That's the only way you can do Sampajanya. There is no other way. Then the coffee smell will go away. If somebody is watching you from behind, you can't do anything. So if there is an addict of coffee and a doctor is watching him, what happens? He will not drink coffee. If a policeman is watching, the person has not put on the helmet and the policeman is standing in one corner, you will wear helmet. The person wears helmet. Now at the road corner you have camera. So I want to throw kachada on the road. That camera is looking at me. Suddenly I'll keep that whatever I want to throw down, I will not throw it. I will go somewhere and throw it. Why? Because somebody is observing. Even though there is no human being observing, the camera itself is sufficient to cut what I am doing. So what is happening is the Vedana is gone, the Sanya is gone, and the Vitakka is also gone. It's beautiful. So all the time you need to have somebody watching you. So he says, Yatam chare, yatam tite, yatam acche, yatam saye, yatam saminjaye, bhikkhu, yatamenam pasaraye, uddham, tiriyam, apachinam, yavata jagato gati, sama vekhita cha dhammanam khandanam udaya bhyayam. Okay, this is a beautiful one. What he says is, Yatam chare yatam tite. Wherever you are moving and wherever you are standing. Yatam acche yatam saye. Wherever you try to sit or to sleep, You have to sit and sleep. So wherever acche, so you touch your body to the bed and you turn to sleep. Yata yatam saminjaye bhikkhu yata menam pasaraye. So when you want to bend or when you want to stretch, uddham tiryam, that is when you are upwards, making your body upwards or across, backwards, or when you are awake. Samavekkita cha dhammanam khandanam udayabhyayam. Always watch the arising and passing away. This is called udayabhyaya jnana. Udayabhyaya jnana is nothing but anicca. What you will start seeing when you start, somebody is observing you, is that this hand going up and coming down. It's going up. There is a different figure. Udaya, Vyaya. So now this hand is no longer there. So it was there. Now it is not there. Now I am sitting in this room, going to the next room. So I was there here, but I no longer is here. I have moved to another room. I am dead in this room and I am born in that room. I am dead in this, I am dead. In this, awake. Again I am back in dead. That is gone, this is there. So who is doing all of this? This consciousness is doing it. So that consciousness, awareness, is what is called as Sampajanya. So it is the consciousness which is watching the mind. Now for those people who don't know how to make the consciousness watching the mind, best is to create Buddha or any idol. So what the Hindu mythology says is that you create Krishna or whatever, and you start thinking that Krishna is watching you everywhere, or Rama is watching you everywhere, or somebody is watching you everywhere. The basic aim is Sampajanya. If it works for you, you will never be able to do anything. You will feel that person is sitting next to you. He is sitting next to you and he is doing exactly what you are doing. If you are making your hand up, that person is also making your hand up. If you are watching left, he also watches left. If you are watching right, you are watching right. If you are walking straight, it's walking straight. If you are bending your head, that also bends the head. If you are sleeping, that also sleeps. Now it goes to toilet, that fellow also is sitting in the toilet. You're taking bath, that also is taking bath. It's very dangerous once you get that. Now you're talking, that person is watching all the time. And it becomes like that. It's very hard to do anything. At present, we are not seeing Buddha seeing us. Let us say, if that really happens, you will not be able to sleep. Because that person is watching you all the time. Now you want to change the dress, and we normally cover. We don't want anybody to see our body. But that person is watching like this. Now what will you do? Will you change dress or not? You want to, but you can't, because now that is watching. This is what Sampajanya is. Actually, nobody is watching. It is a consciousness which is watching. It should have been watching, but it is not watching. And that's the reason mind can do whatever it wants. Now you have brought consciousness. You are the consciousness. So you have brought it in the front. Now the mind cannot do anything.
It is same as sati only, na?
It is sati, but there are two satis. See, he gives two options. One, you make pajanati and continue. You don't have to make sampajanya. But if you want to do sampajanya, this is the sampajanya pabba. Section. See, what Buddha has done is, he has given you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like that, many. You are getting Kayanapasana of Anapanasati finished, done. You don't have to know other things. No sir, I tried, it did not work. Oh, okay. Why don't you do Iriya Pabba? Yeah, did not work. Oh, I see, did not work. Fine. Third one. Why don't you do the Sampajanya? No sir, I tried my best. Nothing worked. Okay, nothing worked. Now I'll give you another one. Like that. So see, one thing we need to understand, it is not sequential. That is, first you do Kayana, you do Anapanasati, then you do Iriya Pabbam, then you do Sampajana Pabbam, then you do the Patikula Manasikara Pabbam, then you do some other thing. No, it's not like that. It depends on my disease. Buddha is a medicine. You should know only the disease and take the medicine. You can't take all the medicine. It's not going to work. You need to find out what are you suffering from. Let us say I am suffering from sexuality. Next section, Patikula Manasikara Pabbam and that charnel ground meditation. Two things will cut off sexuality forever. Simple. But I don't have any problem of sexuality. Should I still read it? Yeah, read it, but you don't have to practice it because you don't have the disease. Like somebody saying, I don't have headache, sir. Should I take a headache tablet? And the doctor will say, have you gone mad? Do you have headache? No. Then why are you taking tablet? No, I just thought it will be good. In advance, I will take it. If it comes, no. If it comes, you take. If you don't have, why should you take? So, Satipaṭṭhāna is like that. You should first identify what problem you have. Whether it is a sensuality you have a problem, or you have a sexuality as a problem, or we have this anger and jealousy and all that, that is a problem. Or what is the problem? Then you have to apply that medicine. So, Preeti, the thing is, if you have already learned that, you don't have to learn this. But if you have not got that, this is another way. Okay, for some people, they cannot get through light. Not possible. No matter how much they try, they cannot understand what is light. How can light, okay, light falls everywhere, but how am the light? No, there's something wrong. So then that is not for them. That pajanati is not for them. There is nothing wrong with them, but they cannot do it, basically. Then you have to do sampajanya. Meaning you should look at the feeling, perception, and the debating thinking which happens in the mind. And if somebody is observing it, the observer effect makes it zero. So you'll automatically reset yourself. Now how do I reset? Now put a Buddha in front of you and keep on walking everywhere. Don't imagine. Imagination shouldn't be done. You should, like I have now this small Buddha, this one, right? So now I keep it like this and then start watching. Now I close the eyes and again open, again close, again open. After some time I feel this is moving. I should do that. When it starts moving, and then if I move outside, this also follows me. So wherever I am sitting, this person is sitting in front of me like this, the way he is sitting here. Okay, now I might see that this will never work. How can that one tell me what I should do? Then this will not work. First thing, Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, that you should be perfect. Then all of this will work. Otherwise, problem number one, doubt will come. I doubt whether this is going to work and this is how it should be done. There should be some other way of doing it. That's all. Finished. So that person will never do it. Because there is some other way. Which is the way? We don't know. Now you have to find a teacher who will show you that way. And we don't know when the teacher is going to come. Now they say that if you are ready, teacher will come. I am ready. But now the teacher has not come. You wait. So now I'll go to each Bhante and find out, no, this, how should I do this? He say, no, just observe. Observe. Yes, I'm observing. Now you keep observing and parami should be there, then you will find it. Oh, okay. So now you go in circles. This is the problem. So two approaches. Yeah. Yes, we have.
Will there be an addiction of the thing? All the time seeing someone in the emotion. Like you don't want any observer effect.
No, once you get an observer effect, you cannot remove it. Worst case scenario, you are having fun with your wife and the person is watching.
That is in any case, like in life, you don't want any observer, but it is coming.
See, it is coming and there is a reason for it to come. See, if you go to YouTube and give quantum mechanics double slit experiment, I think I told earlier also. So you just open that video, okay, and you watch the video completely. It's an 8-minute video. Don't forget, I will send you that link also on WhatsApp. It is in science. Okay, now I will tell you how spiritual it is. You are made up of photons, light particle. Actually, you and me and everyone, every human being, every animal. Eventually, if you say chitta is light particle. Clear? Now what happens? That photon has a weird way of doing things. When I say weird, it means it will go like straight line, it will also go like waves. Two things. When there is no observer, it will do what it wants to do. How does it do? It does based upon raga, dvesha, moha. When some observer is there is no raga, dvesha, moha. It goes in a straight line. Clear? Now your question is there a possibility that whenever I want, I have an observer, whenever I don't want, I don't have an observer? Once you get an observer, you cannot remove it. Just like at present, you don't have an observer. Once you put the camera, just like we have now on the road corners, you have camera. See, apartment has a camera. You are saying sometimes let the camera not be there, only sometimes whenever I want, let the camera be there. That is not possible, no. Once you install the camera, it starts recording. Whether you like or you don't like, it starts recording.
I found it very difficult when we are about to sleep and we are like saying or someone calling us.
No. When you are sleeping, say now you are sleeping. That's the reason he says, when you are sleeping, he is also watching you sleep. So you will not have fear. Basically, we have fear that I am alone. Because of this observer effect, you are not alone at all. Somebody is there all the time. That's another way, right? See, there is another sutta regarding this. He explains, if you are going in a forest and suddenly you get scared, what you should do? He says, remember Buddha. And the question comes, what if I don't remember Buddha? Then he says, remember Dhamma. Then the bhikkhu asks, what if I don't remember Buddha and Dhamma? Remember Sangha. What if I can't remember Sangha? He says, I have no answer to that. Face the consequence. So you have to do Sangha Anusati all the time. So Anusati, Sati is remembrance. So you have to remember. Now if I say, no sir, I can't remember, that's not possible, then you are in a wrong place, basically. What is the answer? Because we are talking about Satipaṭṭhāna. So we can't say, yeah, go ahead.
What changes we will find in our body?
No, you will not find any change in your body, Suyog, but you will find complete change in your mind. See, what will happen, I'll tell you. Assuming that Buddha is sitting behind me. Okay. Now, I feel I should see some sensual kind of movies. Short movie, half an hour, but very sensual kind, where it will arouse sexual intention. I want to watch. Now, until he goes away, I can't watch. Correct? And he will never go away. That means I will never be able to watch. After some time, what happens? That interest to watch also goes away. Correct? That's exactly what he's saying. You watch the Vedana coming, stays and goes away. Sanya coming, stays, goes away. Vitakka coming, stays and goes away. So if you make an observer, you can observe all the three. They're coming and going away. Everything will get removed. Because... What is that? So see, basically I am not being observed. I know for sure I am not being observed. So when I close the door, I feel now I have all the liberty to do anything I want. Clear? From a small child to an adult of say 70-year-old or 80-year-old, they say that you should not eat sweets. So he goes out. He loves sweets. Somehow he's had diabetes, 420, 430, 500 or 300 or whatever that blood sugar is. He feels, what is wrong if I have one? Just one, what it is going to do? So let me have. And I'll take some tablet anyway. Or I'll take insulin. Now Buddha is standing next to you. That's all. His interest of eating that sweet, gone. So I had a nice effect when I had gone to Sri Lanka along with, I had gone to with Lasanta. He stays in Anuradhapura. So we went to a place. If I say that in Sinhalese, it's a long one. It has a dome and it is attached with the Bodhi tree. So I was walking. Suddenly I had a strange experience. The strange experience is somebody slapped me. Okay. And really slapped. Not that it was not a slap. I felt like somebody has hit me, But there was nobody who hit me, because everybody is going to that place, so nobody hit me. Then in my mind, it is like somebody talking to me saying that, what were you doing in all these lives? Why did you spoil yourself? Can you give me an answer? I didn't have any answer. So that voice told me, at least now you correct yourself. And I informed this to Lasanta. Lasanta at that time, we were not so close as we are today. So it was just, I think, 4 months of meeting online. So he used to find me very strange, because every day I used to have one experience and I used to tell him this is what happened, and then he used to feel what this person is, what all experience he has, is he lying or is he saying something or whatever. But that is the observer effect. To be very honest, that is the observer effect. You will have somebody almost talking to you all the time and you are watched. So you can't rest, basically. So if you do something, that voice will come and say, look, I watched what you did. Now what will you do, or what will I do in that case? So I'll become all right. Yes, Suyol, go ahead.
So there was a movie,
Yeah, so for every being, if somebody is watching, that person becomes serious, meaning the mind becomes very serious. It'll not allow it'll itself to be going here and there, so it becomes like a particle. That's the whole idea. He doesn't explain this is a particle and wave and all that, but you can really see, science also says that if there is an observer, all the electrons will go as particle. If you remove the observer, then it can go as particle, it can go as wave, it can, some places it is a particle, some places it's a wave, so it is everywhere. And nobody knows why it happens. Now, spirituality knows why it happens, because it is mind. Mind jumps on many things. So if there is observer, it cannot jump anywhere. It will go straight. See, a girl is standing. Behind a girl, a policeman is standing. Now what will happen to this person who is watching the girl? Will he watch the girl or will he watch this policeman? He will watch both. And suddenly when the policeman looks at him, or policewoman looks at him, what happens? He will stop looking. Simple. There is nothing he has done. There is nothing wrong he has committed. But yet he feels it. And this is what Buddha calls it as moral dread, which we looked at Ottappa yesterday, is that you start fearing morally what is going to happen because of the observer effect. So first you have to bring an observer within you, and that is what is called as awareness. You become mindful, aware, all that. Meaning is that when they say you become yoniso manasikara, what it really means is that the manas is the mind, manasikara is action of the mind, is being watched with yoniso. That means thoughtful reflection or thoughtful or proper reflection, whatever you want to call in English. But that's what it would be. So somebody is watching. when that happens, let's say it happens, then he says Abhikkante patikkante sampajanakari hoti. In going forwards, in going back, is one who practices with conscious awareness of arising and passing. His previous body, new body, previous body, new body. The new things change. Like I am doing this hand. Everything is like frame. One frame over next frame, and next frame, and next frame, like that. Just like if you take a flip and flip all the scenes, you will see the movement. That same thing is happening within our body. If you see any time-lapse videos, you will really see that happening. Okay. So another experience I had few years ago, at least I think it is 2+ years. So I and my friend, we were walking in a park, and I was explaining to him the same thing, how this works. And suddenly I started feeling like frame arising, passing away, arising, passing away. Every frame, there's no person there, there's nothing, there's just frame falling down. And when I see the rose flower or this one or that tree, everything is arising, staying for just a momentary and gone. Next one, next frame, next frame, next frame. So that remained for few days. Then I shared one video of FPS, that is frame per second. If it is 1 million, what happens? If it is 1 million, it looks fixed like this. It looks very stable. It looks very fixed. It looks very solid. So Buddha calls it as Ghanasanya. Ghanasanya means something solid. But it doesn't have any ghana. There's nothing to hold. It is just coming as one frame going, one frame going, one frame going, just like the movie, just the frames. So because of that frame, there is movement. So the movement what we see is just frames. There is no real person there. It's just a frame. So consciousness moves and the frame keeps falling. As soon as it moves, it comes up and falls, and it comes up and falls, and comes up and falls. And that is the reason we keep on changing our shape. Body shape changes. All that changes is happening because the consciousness as it moves, the light as it moves. When you say consciousness, the light as it moves, the frame starts to fall. When the frame comes, it sticks, and then frame goes away, it falls. Everything is happening the same way. So there is one, that video also I'll share it with you. Was one video when a scientist has found a camera, and a camera clicks at 1 million frames per second. And he shows how the light is passing through a Coke bottle, and it goes inside and lights up the liquid, and wherever it lights up, it looks like life has come into it, and then that dims away. Then next and next and next and next. Isn't it the same thing which is happening to us? The consciousness enters into the womb, and the solid which is there, it starts to develop from the seed. The seed is nothing but the sperm, and within the egg. So it is now like a soil and the seed. So now it starts to bloom. So now that is gone, next shape has come. 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 And it starts growing. When we say growing, that shape is gone, next shape, next shape, next shape, next shape, next shape, which is happening like a frame. Absolute truth. It's just frame. So what happened to the previous frame? Dead. When we were child, that frame we are not carrying. Only the memory says that you are a child. That is chitta holds the memory. So it takes you back immediately and gives experience to the mind. as though you were a child. You are not a child, you are looking at the body. You were never a child or an adult or whatever, but the body was small. It is not that you were small. No, the body was small. And body was in the womb. So I can say, when I was in the womb, no, you were never there in the womb in the first place. The body started manufacturing or getting manufactured in the womb because the consciousness started moving. And you can see the frame per second. So when it enters the bottle, it's the life comes, and as it goes, this whole bottle becomes darker and darker and darker, and it comes out of the cap. It lights up. Okay. Then he does the test with tomato. This is beautiful. He keeps it in a dark place and he sends this packet of light. It gives the life into the tomato and it looks so pretty. As that light keeps on going away, the tomato becomes almost dead. Okay, this is the frame per second cycle, FPS, frame per second. So when you have many frames, it looks solid. If you do a slow motion, you can do it right now with you. If you have some 100 photographs taken at different intervals, you join one of them and you slowly flip it. You can see how you have changed. Like it just keeps on changing like this. You can see it's a frame per second. Now that is getting observed by you only, and that is Sampajan. Now this you might not be able to do it at all. So for that reason, you have to make somebody watching you. That's all. Otherwise there is nobody really watching you. You are becoming aware of arising, passing away. How? So there are two choices. One, make it as a light, pajanati, or you make it as sampajanya. So he says, wherever you are, whatever you are doing, whatever postures you are having, abhikante patikkante sampajanakari hoti, alokite vilokite sampajanakari hoti, saminjite pasarite sampajanakari hoti, संघाति पटिच्य चीवर धारणे संपजानकारी होती, असिते पीते खाइते साइते संपजानकारी होती, उच्चार पस्सार व खम्मे संपजानकारी होती, गते थिते निसिन्ने सुत्ते जागरिते संपजानकारी होती, भासिते तुन्नी भावे संपजानकारी होती. So what it means is alokite vilokite, looking ahead and looking around, संपजानकारी होती, meaning you are watching as though somebody is looking in the front and somebody is turning around. It's not you who is turning around, somebody is turning around. Just like a frame. A frame is tick, 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 turning. Then it's turning like this. And then it is seeing like this. And then it's going back. So each is a posture. If you do that properly, you will get released. You will forget all about you. So that again, Sakkaya Ditthi is gone. Because you're just a frame. There's only frames. One frame, second frame, third frame, fourth frame, fifth frame. So where is you? It's only frame. That's what he's saying. Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, Vijnana. Each is a frame. In the Rupa, in first frame, Vedana came, Sanya came, Sankhara came, Vijnana came, gone. Next frame, Rupa came, like that. Now the Vijnana magician, if you say go to childhood, it goes, picks up that dead piece and comes back saying that here it is. Now the person keeps on saying, when I was small, how I was playing at your home. And the other person's chitta also goes back, brings back the memory of the small boy. And he starts playing. Yeah, we used to play, we used to eat, you remember? Now what does he say? You remember. What is he remembering? Childhood. What you should remember? Anicca, Dukkha, Anatta. What is he remembering? What is that I am remembering? I am remembering my sati is not of this. I am remembering wrong thing. I should remember right thing. What is the right thing? It's a frame. It's dead. So now the fear of death is gone. Why? Because it's a frame. So where is that you're dying or living or whatever you're doing? It's already gone, whether you like it or you don't like it. So he says, Panchupadana Khanda Dukkha, because now you are holding on to something which never existed in the first place. It's a frame by frame by frame. So when I had this experience 2 years ago in the park, it was a fascinating experience. I was so happy. 2 days was fun. I used to feel, wow, this is such a nice, just a frame falling. If I'm moving my hand, even now I feel it. It's not that I've totally forgotten all about it, but it's nice. So now you can make it like a frame. It just falls. So I came back home. So as soon as I came back home, I searched on internet for frame per second. And to whomever I wanted to share, I said that, look, this is what I experienced in the park just now, and I want you to watch these. I sent them 2 videos. One video, there is a slow FPS wherein a person is holding a glass bowl, and a gun, some fire is shot on that, so the whole thing gets split up. And another one where somebody wants to drop water on the ice. He drops the water, they make it like a slow frame per second. So the water takes its own time to come and touch his eyes. As soon as it comes, there's a blast inside his eyes. Okay, and you can see the frame, 1 frame, 2nd frame, 3rd frame, 4th frame. If it is very fast, it's like us. It's very fast. So consciousness makes the magical illusion as though it is real. And that's the reason Buddha says Maya. Maya upamancha vinyanam desita ditta bandhuna. I will show you this thing. Which thing? Rupa is like a foam. Vedana is like raindrops. You don't know why the raindrop. Some person will like it, some person will not like it. Some person will say, I don't care. The raindrop. Then Sanya is like going on a desert and asking for water. As soon as you run towards water, the water will go far. But when you come back, the water starts following you. So all perceptions are like that. Perception of a wife, perception of a husband, perception of a brother, sister, mother, father, this, that, table, chair, everything perception is like a mirage. You will never get it. So that is Sanya. Sankhara. You keep on doing something. It's a frame which is falling. I think it just keeps on falling. And that's the reason he says, Attiyati arayati jiguchati. Because you are not able to hold. Even for a second you cannot hold it. Where is the point? You can't even hold anything. Just like now you both have come from college. Can you go back to your morning? No. Can you do what you were doing in the morning right now? No. Can you now do what you did 1 hour ago again? No. In this life there ends it. Whatever you did today, from morning till this class is gone. Even our class, whatever we are doing for the last 1.5 months after you all met, are there as video format. But it's all history. It is all memory only. There is no reality in that. I can't go back and lead my life because that frame is gone. All of our frames are gone. Forget your frame. My frame is also gone. Every few days I have to shave my chin and it looks okay. And you also, someday you have to shave, and someday when you shave you look something, and when you don't shave you look something. And now Preeti might not have any white hairs. Some years ago, now she has white hairs. If she goes back to her earlier age, she never had children also, because there was no husband also. And she even goes back further, she was not going to school also. And she goes back, she was not born also. Correct? You now look at the frame. It's just a movie. So many things have happened. But now can you go back? I'm got tired, so let me go back. I'll go back to yesterday. No. Day before yesterday. Forget yesterday, day before yesterday. Even we can't go back 10 minutes before. It's already 9:24. 1 hour before what we were talking, that itself is gone. So this is what you have to keep on seeing. So he says, Sanghati Paticca Chivara Dharane. That is when you are wearing your robes. It is for a bhikkhu. So when you are wearing a robe, you just watch what happens. Robe as such, the dress as such, is not fallen on the body. The moment it falls on the body, weight has fallen on you. All these t-shirts or shirt or dress or whatever we are wearing for a female and a male, you can see there's a weight. There is a weight of this body, of this cloth. If you were to stand naked and weigh yourself, you will weigh a little bit lower. When you put on this dress and stand, you will weigh around 300 to 400 grams more. But that is the weight of this all clothing. So now you become aware. Asite, pite, khaite, saite. That is when eating, drinking, chewing, swallowing. Uchchara passava kamme. Passing stools and urine. Gate, tithe, nisinne, sutte, jagarite. Moving, standing, sitting, sleeping. In walking. Bhasite, talking. Tunhi bhave, maintaining silence. So this many you watch with awareness, as though somebody is watching you, which is the best thing is frame per second. If you can get into that, beautiful, you'll enjoy. When you move your body from this place to that place, the whole body has fallen away from here. And a new body appears there, in that room, in this walking, like this. Now what happens to the room? Shunya, gone. What happens to the chair? Gone. What happens to the place where I was sitting? Gone. When I switch off this light, what happens? It's gone. That's all. Where do I exist now? Whichever room I am now going, that is the room I am going to exist. So my existence is frame by frame. Now you keep watching. If you start keeping watching, you'll see very funny thing. You are not there at all. There is no you. So with that you are liberated. Because now you can again play that song. What song? Atthikāyo tiva panasa sati pacchupattitha hoti yavad eva jnanamattaya patisati mattaya anisito cha viharati nacha kinchi loke upadhyati. Evampi ko bhikkhu bhikkhave bhikkhu kaye kayanupassi viharati. Now you are seeing the collections. What collection? Frame by frame by frame by frame by frame is coming and falling away, coming, staying, falling away. So Uppada Titi Bhanga, Uppada Titi Bhanga, Uppada Titi Bhanga is happening. So where is you? Not there. Yes.
So when that means it's like watching the slow motion.
Yes. That is all what we are. And you watch it, I'll send you the video. I'll send you both the videos that what I spoke about that double slit experiment. That I will send it to you, and I will send you what I experienced frame per second. It's beautiful video. You can see how the light falls on that Coca-Cola bottle, and you can see the light as it goes, life coming and going away. Wherever that light is there, so long light remains, life remains. As soon as the light goes away, life goes away. You can see it in tomato. When he does it on tomato, I was feeling, wow, this is exactly what I saw. So there is no life. Okay, now what's the fear? Death, right? You're already dead, so what more to die? If you are dying like a frame every moment, why I should be fearful of death? Simple. It's a frame. Now in that frame, where does a son and a daughter come? Where does the wife come? Where does the husband come? This is what is Sankhara all about. The unnecessary putting name, Nama and Rupa, and we are totally lost in that. Mind makes you to get lost. Okay, so we will end with this. At least today 9:30 I will close it. Because if I take this particular Manasikara Pabba, this itself will take more than 1 hour. So very nice. So we'll see Patavi Dhatu, Apo Dhatu tomorrow. It will be very nice. And we can do this meditation. And Kalpana wanted to learn this. Maybe I'll wait for her to come if she comes tomorrow. Otherwise we'll continue and she can listen to it online. Any questions or anything else you want to discuss? I am okay, but I don't want to move to this section. If you don't have anything, then we can close it also.
Thank you, Bhante.
No problem. Always welcome.
No questions.
No questions. Very good. Namo Buddhaya then. Okay, good night. Bye.
Yes,